Hey, all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey there, my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel. I'm your hostess, femininity coach, and author of the Crimson Cure, and this is my perspective. So I've got a little video. Let me refresh it so that you can understand what we're talking about. Black people in general, Black men specifically, continue to call out the stunt that was pulled by the Democrats, and more specifically Barack Obama, to try to chastise Black men into voting for Kamala Harris, and basically just coming. It was out of pocket. It was extremely out of pocket, because how dare anybody think that they can come out and just basically wag their fingers and try to basically use sign language against Black men for how it is that they want to vote, as if Black men as a collective don't have the sense, the autonomy, the intelligence, and the freedom to make whatever decision at the poll that they wish to make, whether they're voting at all, whether they're not voting, whether they're a voting Democrat or whether they're voting Republican at this point. Kamala Harris has not done anything that, in my personal opinion, has inspired any confidence for any intelligent voter. Just based on the way that she carries herself, and based on the way that she doesn't answer questions, based on the way that she doesn't move quickly on her feet mentally when pressed. That Fox interview that she did was a disaster, because she finally pulled up to the ops, which I guess I'll give her credit for to a certain degree. And then when they pressed her, and he started pressing her, when the interviewer started pressing her on stuff and not letting her just do word salad, and not letting her just, foxtrot and Molly trot her way through that interview, and not softballing all the questions to her, which she does a terrible job even when you softball. I was glad to see that there was a more of a press on her to answer questions. He really set her up. Fox News really set her up. It was actually a masterclass of cornering her without her realizing that she's being cornered. And it was a disaster area. And the reason I'm bringing that up is because just based on that interview alone, the way that she handled herself and the way that she's been handling herself ever since she got appointed to the Democratic Party to run as a candidate, because she certainly didn't go through the primaries like she was supposed to. All right. So she's a selection, not an election. She's a selection. And she's not very intelligent. Kamala Harris is not very intelligent. I personally have a bias against not allowing a female to be in such a position of power, just based on females' psychology and, psychological set and female nature. But I'm even more opposed to a dumb female. This one isn't even sharp. This one isn't even sharp. She's woefully unqualified. Loud allegations throughout her career as a district attorney in California, throughout her career at all, loud allegations of how she slept her way to the top, which proves that you aren't qualified. You're not qualified, queen, to do your job, because she didn't get where she was going based on the merits of her intelligence and her work ethic and her ability to get things done in whatever position that she's been in. And her being a vice president, she's been a train wreck there. Have we forgotten all of the past 3.5 to 4 years of her gaffes, going places, putting her foot in her mouth, not knowing how to talk to people? Have we forgotten all of the stories about the churn and the turnover in her office and her staff because her office was so chaotic that people were quitting, not wanting to work with her because it was just such a chaotic work environment that they couldn't get anything done. Like herding a bunch of cats. And it was her. It wasn't even the staff. It wasn't even the incompetence of the staff. It was her. So I'm saying all of these things because Black men see this. Black men are not stupid. Many of them are, it's not even about Trump and nothing else. It's about, look at this woman, how she's carrying herself. She's not carrying herself as any leader that I want to follow. She does not inspire followership. Leaders inspire followership. When people have good leadership qualities, that makes people want to follow them. That makes people want to listen to them. It makes people want to consider and take them seriously with what they're saying and try to implement the things that they're saying. They can see their vision. She can't make nobody buy into her vision because she don't have one. Multiple times, she's been asked on various platforms, what would she do? What would a Harris administration do differently than a Biden administration has done? And she specifically said, not a single thing comes to mind. We know. And so for Obama to jump out of the window and try to chastise the collective of Black men as if Black men owe their allegiance to the Democratic Party or to Kamala Harris, and that they are not to exercise their freedom of choice in this matter, is an affront to the collective manhood and masculinity of Black men, which is really why they're speaking out, because who are you? So let me go ahead and play the clip so you can hear them speak for themselves.
Black community, male and female.
I want Barack Obama and every Democrat out there to know, you do not own Black people. We are not slaves. Our chains are gone. We do not owe you anything. And we don't have to give you an account for how we choose to vote.
The Democrats then unleashed Barack Obama into the wild to shame us Black men for not supporting Kamala Harris, despite the fact that she's yet to unveil any policies that represent our interests. But if it was a white politician shaming other white men for not voting based on identity politics, y'all will call him racist. Why is it okay for Barack Obama, Kamala Harris, and all these other people that supposedly look like me?
And I want to pause it. I know I've done a lot of talking, but I want to pause it right there because people don't see the problem. If Trump had gotten up, or if a former president had gotten up, the last Republican president before Trump had gotten up to say on a campaign trail to support Trump, if they had gotten somewhere on camera to say, we got to band together as white people, we got to band together as white men to vote another white man into office because this is the only way forward. Y'all got to vote him in because we all are white and we all got to stick together. And us white men got to stick together and get behind one another and support one another into, the office, into office. We need Trump to get back into office, be on the strength of the vote of the white man. If somebody had a guy on camera to say that and Trump endorsed it or didn't speak out against it, even regardless of whether he spoke out against it or not, if any former Republican president or any politician, prominent Republican politician had gotten up to say something like that to the collective of white men in America, it would have been an uproar and people would have been like, see, Trump is racist. They banding together, on some racist stuff. We would have had a whole conniption fit. But yet Barack Obama can get up and wag his finger in Black men's faces like they his sons. Anyways.
Why is it okay for them to get on TV and shame me for not voting for them simply because they look like me? That is racist, brother. I don't know how else to put it. That is racism. I don't have to vote for Kamala because she's quote unquote Black. Just like I shouldn't have voted for yo because you got up there, you tap dance for the establishment, and you ain't do a goddamn for the Black people that put you in office. You, brother.
You ain't did a thing for us in the 8 years that you was in the White House. And you think you gonna pop up during an election year and try to scold black men for not wanting to vote for your candidate? Have you lost your mind?
I spent 7 years of my life fighting your administration, you and Biden, by the way, for my husband's military benefits. My daughter died because of Obamacare. I don't give a about you.
This message is for President Obama. First and foremost, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do and what I'm not going to do. Number one, I ain't going to vote for Kamala Harris. I think that she's going to make a bad president. She's a bad vice president. Everything she does, she tries to politicize it. And she hasn't shown the fact that she wants to put America first ever. So I'm not voting for that individual.
What you thought you was doing, Barack Obama? Boy, you didn't step out there. All you did was black men off, bruh. All you did was black men off. Why y'all think the American people why y'all think the Democrat Party own black folk? The Democrat Party don't own black folks, bruh. What you thought you was doing with that? We see the play. We know, we see the play. Kamala Harris is losing. She's not gonna win.
The audacity of you to say to us that we are required and we better vote for Kamala Harris and that we don't want to see a woman in a position of power. You're a liar.
Now, that little rant inspired members of the Black community, male and female.
Now, that was the clip. You heard what many Black men had to say and Black women. That's the little known thing. A lot of the sisters are coming out and saying, no, we're not going to vote. See, they want us to believe as Black people that all the Black women are lining up behind Kamala. That's actually not true. On the ground and even on the internet, social media, Black women are coming out and saying, no, this is some foolishness at this point. Y'all are like really playing in our faces, like to a point where it can't be ignored and it really can't be swept under the rug. I mean, you do have Black women that are, going to vote and kind of blindly doing so. And you also got Black men to do. I'm not saying nobody's doing it, but I'm saying seems to be a sizable number, a growing number of Black women as well. That's like, nah, we'll vote for Trump before we put Kamala Harris back, put her in office. Yeah, well, back in office because she's in the White House right now. So yeah, you got a lot of sisters coming out. They're saying, but you had so many more Black men who became vocal and outright saying, hey man, you don't tell us what to do. You don't tell us what to do. We grown, we have brains, we have eyes, we have sense, and we can reason out what it seems to be, because we're already living under a Harris administration is what people don't know, is what people don't seem to grasp. She said she's not going to change anything. I think she's going to change something. I think she's going to make it worse. I think she's going to make it exponentially worse. She's going to double down, triple down on a lot of this foolishness that she's got going. She is. She's going to triple down on it because she don't know what she's doing. And she's a radical, like she's radical. So you're going to see a lot more foolishness with the illegal immigrants. You're going to see a lot more ridiculous government spending, a lot more inflation. The economy is going to continue to tank. You're going to see a lot, and we will go to war, and it won't be a proxy war. We will go to war under her because America's enemies will not respect her. They're not going to respect her leadership. And that's going to be the main problem. They're not going to respect it. They didn't respect Biden's leadership mainly because cognitively he's declining. And so it's like, he don't even know what he said in this meeting. We ain't got to pay no attention to that. And he had his own agenda and all of that kind of stuff that he was running as well. And if you have to put Trump up against Kamala to say which United States president has more potential to be respected for who they are and what they're saying and taken more seriously between the two by America's enemies, or basically the ops, is gonna be Trump. Like I keep saying, a lot of these sovereigns, a lot of these prime ministers, a lot of these presidents in other countries, they don't cotton well to women in certain positions. They don't respect it. That's not going to be looked on favorably to them. They're going to be like, nah, where's the men at? Because we got to talk to a skirt. They're the ones that's going to be misogynist. Because they're not going to listen. I mean, technically, they got to listen to it. I mean, because she is the president of the United States, quote unquote, she'll be the president of the United States if she win. But they ain't paying no attention to that. They're going to railroad her on them deals. They're going to railroad. They're going to run over her is what's going to happen. She'll push over. They're going to run over her. Because I don't even think she got the good sense to pick a good cabinet that's going to shield her from a lot of foolishness and stupid decisions. Because she seemed like she wants people to say yes to her. The nerve. Don't know what you're doing and want yes men. But in any case, Black men sounded off, and I want you guys to sound off. Jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.